So I managed to get my 165 cranks off of the Patrol, so standard 6873 bottom bracket, 165 GX cranks, onto the 21 slash, which runs a 55mm chain line, so a wider crank, ever so slightly wider Q factor, dub wide, obviously. So these are the 175s it comes with. Mountain bikes definitely shouldn't come with 175 crank. This is the bottom bracket shell, so the drive side bottom bracket bearing. Now this spacer just here is just a little too wide, so it makes as you bolt the cranks up, it makes the crank arms clash with the bearings, and obviously destroys the free spinning ability of the cranks. So I used the drive side bottom bracket bearing out of the Patrol, which has the standard spacer on it to space things out, and I've got the 30 tooth chainring that this bike came with on it, so it's a 3mm boost, and it's very, very tight. You can see there, very close, very tight. So it's literally a millimeter. It's a full millimeter, but still it's a millimeter. We've got plenty of clearance on the chainstay, so about 7mm, 8mm on this side. This side's obviously got the rubber chain slap protector, so it probably makes up for that extra mil. They feel good, feels better, spins perfectly freely. There's no issues there. Chain line's improved in my opinion, for sure. So it's a little bit more closer to the center of the spread of the gears. It's still left of center. It's still outboard of center, even at that. But you go another 3mm out with a 0 offset chainring to get it away from the chainstay, and it'll just make it even worse. So initially with this bike with a 55mm chain line, no matter what I do to tune this Eagle setup, these top two gears are just noisy, just constantly. It's mainly the top one, but the top two, I've kind of tuned it to be minimal, but there's nothing I can do. There's not a lot I can do to get rid of the noise. It's just noisy in the top tooth. I would consider leaving it with this 3mm offset to keep that good chain line, to keep it more quiet up the top here, and less wear and tear on the whole drivetrain. But I can't get my chain guide and bashy in with the chainring there. The chainring needs to come out a little bit so I can get spaces behind the bashy to mount up, so it clears the chain stay mount. So this part, that part of the chainstay where it mounts to the main frame, clashes with the chain guide if I don't space it out enough. And if I just do space it out enough to where it was with the original, the chain ring's in the way. So 0 offset chain rings on the way. 30 tooth again. 32 tooth is definitely not the go for me on a 29er. Some people, yeah, maybe, but I like to climb steep hills, get straight to the top of the trail. I don't mosey around the front of this or the side of the hill. I just go straight up the hill, get back to the top of the trail and send it again. And because of that, a lot of my climbs are steep and long. So the 30 tooth, especially with the 52 at the front, just makes it nice and easy. I can just trundle along. There's no knee issues. I'm not putting any load. Instead of having a bad dream, or maybe it's a good dream. Yeah, let me stop now. Is camera shy? I definitely prefer the 30. Especially, I was thinking of going to 32, but I've been doing some steep climbs lately and thinking about it on the climbs and just thinking, no way, I wouldn't bother. I don't run out of steam at the hardest gear, the smallest gear. Even when I'm sprinting on the street, going to a friend's house, sprinting down a hill or something, I never run out of gears. So I can easily sprint at 60 k's an hour. Well, not easily. It's hard to sprint at 60 k's an hour, but at 60 k's an hour, I'm not looking for another gear. That's for sure. So 30's fine at the front. That's what I'm going to run, and I'm happy that I got 165 cranks on there. So these are obviously, this was just a mock-up. So I've got some on order, and I've got the 0 offset chainring coming. So these will be for sale soon. 55mm chain line, 175 dub. I think they're just called X1 now. So they're GX, well basically GX, but I think they just call them X1 now. X1 Eagle. So if you want them, hit me up. Get them out of my life. But yeah, it is possible to run a standard 52mm chainline crank as long as you run a 0 offset chain ring. I think the carbon frames are a little bit different. There's a little bit more clearance on a carbon frame, but yeah, for me, 165 all day.